Hello, my name is Chris Essett with the Department of Homeland Security's Office of Emergency Communications, and I'm the Director of the Office of Emergency Communications, and I'm here today with Fire Chief Charles Warner from Charlottesville, Virginia, and Deputy Chief Eddie Reyes from the Alexandria Police Department, and we're going to be doing a session on the importance of partnerships for interoperable emergency communications. What are some of the biggest challenges, Charles, that the community is facing right now?
Well, I think first there are two aspects. One is operability, the ability to operate within its own territory, and interoperability to work with other agencies in larger scale incidents or in larger geographic regions. And that really comes down to how well do you work together, and it gets back to what you're talking about, partnerships and relationships and interoperability between those agencies.
For me, it's getting the political buy-in. We as public safety sometimes have not done a good enough job explaining to elected officials why this issue is so incredibly important. And I think sometimes we need to do a better job of just taking 30 minutes at a city council session, giving them a layout of our communications issues, giving them a layout of costs, because oftentimes the cost is the thing that really astounds elected officials. They have no idea that a radio system can potentially cost as much as single to double digit in millions of dollars. And that's pretty astonishing to some elected officials. And the first time they're hearing it is when your system is 30 years old.
Right, and just to add to that a little bit more, I think the issue that we see is that it's those partnerships and relationships that formalize developing that. And it's not easy all the time. So it's not an easy process, but the results from those partnerships are astounding.
Well, something you all taught me early on back in 2003 when I took that state interoperability coordinator job was that the problem was more 90% coordination, partnerships, and then 10% technologies. The technologies are there to solve the problem. Would y'all still agree with that after all this time?
Yes.
Yeah. Before you're starting to plan on talking to your neighbor and planning for the next big event, make sure that within your confines of your municipality, you're talking to each other first, because you can't really talk to your neighbor if you're not even talking to each other. And I think what OEC and the National Emergency Communications Plan has done with this is put that message out. Exactly like Chief Warner said, focus on communications first, focus on interoperability, and then your third logical step will become interoperability.
My next question is, what partnerships have you seen that have been influencing the public safety community and have been very effective?
Well, let me work my way up. Let me talk first from our regional situation. We have a regional communications center, the City of Charlottesville, the County of Albemarle, the University of Virginia, that all work together under one system. That is collaboration, which creates interoperability. You go the next step and you look at the state level, where we work together collectively to begin the statewide interoperability executive committee in Virginia, in developing the organizations within the state to come together with governance and discuss planning for grant guidance. And then you go to the national level and we look at SAFECOM, the executive committee, and then you have the expanded emergency response council that brings in a larger subsect of that. And then you have the national organizations and associations that we work with to bring all this together. And then you look at the federal level. This really is beginning to figure out how do we do the partnerships from the local level to the state level to the federal level and create this national idea or concept. So then you've got the ECPC that comes at the federal level of uniting federal agencies to figure out how do we activate all the things that we have in the most effective way possible. And then you take all that and it comes into the National Emergency Communications Plan. And the key with that is National Emergency Communications Plan to create an understanding between our agencies.
I mean, that's right on target. I'll give you an example. In January and February, when the National Capital Region had that large snowstorm here, we had fire personnel supplementing our fire department from as far away as Southern Virginia. Governance, the training, and the standards that had been in place a long time ago, thanks in good part to a lot of the planning through the OEC and the National Emergency Communications Plan, allowed us to plug these people into our regional weather emergency, and we made out.
Everything we've accomplished at the state level and now we're working on the national level has been so instrumental because of the partnerships we've formed. And our office is very appreciative of y'all's time and the associations you represent in the SAFECOM effort to helping us do everything we do as far as developing statewide plans, ComEl criteria, the National Emergency Communications Plan, you name it, and we look forward to partnering with you all in the future. to do great things in the future as well. So we thank you for being here and sharing your time with us.